Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be installing these new fog lights. These are 4-in-1 fog lights from WS Headlight, and they sent these to me to test out on my Sienna. If you didn't know, Toyota and Lexus use a very common and interchangeable fog light since about 2009, 2010. So these bolt into all the different cars. So my Sienna already has LED fog lights from Morimoto. I swapped those out back when I bought the car brand new, but I like these new ones because they're supposedly a 4-in-1. So they have a DRL, they have a fog light, they have a turn signal, and they have one other thing which I don't know. So we'll go figure out what's on here, so stay tuned. So these fog lights, just looking at them, they're pretty nice, or very well designed with a nice heat sink. It's got the logo, the WS logo, right etched into the lens, and everything looks pretty good from what I've seen compared to other LED fog lights, both OEM and aftermarket that I've seen. They've got the adjuster screw on the back for height adjustment, which is a plus. You don't see this very often anymore with these type of fog lights right here. So I opted to get the yellow ones for the install today. So we're going to be putting these yellow ones in. They're going to give it like a nice JDM yellow. So on here on the instructions, it comes with a pretty nice instruction set. It basically tells you how to wire up everything, and it's pretty much plug and play. All you need to do is plug in the fog light right here, run one wire for your actual power for your DRL, and then a parking light wire if you want the side light. That's the fourth function right there. It has a parking light that you can actually use, which is essentially a daytime running light. In order to run these, it actually runs its own separate power supply or controller, so it can actually do the DRLs. And just looking at all the wiring and everything, these are actually OEM plugs right here that are used on Toyota, so that's a pretty high quality item right there. This thing comes with everything you need to install. It actually even comes with a Add-a-Fuse, so you can add it, and it's two types of Add-a-Fuse for the different fuse blocks. You have the actual sticking out pin ones and the flush pin ones. They thought of everything on here. They even have the 3M tape to stick your controller underneath your bumper or wherever you end up mounting that thing. So in order to install these, we have to actually remove the bumper. If you guys don't know how to remove the bumper, I think I have a separate video where I've removed this bumper before, but it's pretty straightforward. We just need to take apart all the clips up top, the two screws and the clip on the side and the fenders, and then all the 10mm at the bottom, and we just pop this thing off on the sides, and it comes right off along with the grill. Once you take it off, you could make sure you unplug your fog lights and everything, take the whole bumper off, and then you can install the new fog lights and do all your wiring underneath. All right, we got the bumper off. As you can see, the fog light is accessed through the back here. So all Toyota fog lights have 4 mounting spots. Most of the time they only use 2 or even 1 screw. On here, you can see 2 of the tabs go into here and 1 screw holds it, and this one doesn't do anything. So that's pretty much how they mount these things on the Sienna. On other cars I've seen, it just kind of random on what they choose to mount it with. So we'll go ahead and take these off, mount the new ones in, and then we'll gotta do the wiring on the car. All right, right here we got the Morimoto one. I've been using since I got this car new when I bought it, like a month after I got the car. And these things, you can see they're pretty pitted now and used up. They have that same projector that these new ones have right there, like little half LED projector. And you can see the build quality is pretty good on the Morimotos with the heat sink there and the adjustment screw. Very similar to what we have now. This one's a little bit more flat versus the curvature on here, but on the actual bumper you won't even notice it anyways. All right, so here we got it on the car right now. The fitment's a little bit whack as far as the lens goes. The Morimoto was a bit rounder, like more like the OEM, where it actually filled in the gap more. With this, you can actually see right through here. You can actually see the mounting through the clear, and then you can see the mounting over here, which is kind of whack. But with these and the DRL being on during the day all the time, it might hide a lot of that, but when you see it without the lights on, you're gonna see these gaps right here, which kind of sucks. All right, the next thing I need to do is run the harness for the DRLs and the parking lights. So you basically have one way to put it on the short side and the long side. You want to use the long leg of the Y over to that side. You want to keep this over here near the fuse block because this is on the driver's side. Tap the fuse block with the green right there with that fuse. Then the blue down here goes to the parking light. So I'll just tap a parking light over here on this headlight. Then we're gonna go ahead and mount these things. Over here, I'm just gonna mount it right to this reinforcement right here. I'm gonna use the tape to tape it, but I'm also gonna drill a hole just to make sure it doesn't fall off. So this is the input from the fog light signal from the car, and then the DRL that we're gonna run over here. And then we're gonna have to run the yellow wire to the turn signal on each side. So down here, we got this big old jumble mess of wires, as you can see. And the easiest way to figure things out is just to find out and know what your wires are. So the turn signal is like in this bundle right here. So you just gotta look behind the headlight and see what color your turn signal is. Find the wire right here and tap it. And then the parking light is right here on this one that goes to the corner light. So that's the parking light. So I'll just get the wire that comes out of here and then I'll tap it right there. I'm gonna heat shrink and solder just because I like all my stuff clean. So over here on the passenger side, you can see the turn signal right there, harness. It's got the white and black wire, which is the ground, and then I think it's a brown wire on this side is the signal. So on this side, I actually dropped the harness for the signal and my DRLs, the factory DRLs on my 2015 SE. This thing's actually got everything I need to make the connections if I wanted to right here, and I just might do that without running the power into the actual car. I might actually do that so I don't have to run power straight to the fuse box. I'll just jack the DRL right here. I'll test that first to make sure it works. And then over here is a turn signal. So you can see the yellow right here is the same yellow that goes into there. And then over here is my parking light, which is a green wire for the parking light. And this actually goes into here also. So it makes it pretty convenient just because the DRLs take all these signals. And the reason why they take a turn signal in here is there's actually a switchback already designed into this DRL. During the day, when you signal, this thing turns off. All right, so I plugged this thing up just to test it. I haven't made any final connections yet, but it looks like the turn signals are working. I'll go ahead and check the fog light, DRL, and parking light now. So right now we got the fog light on. We got the parking light plugged in. If I unplug the parking light, let me see what happens. Bright this thing is, but I think this thing might only, I think the parking light, I was able to test everything and I kind of figured everything out. Right now, the blue wire on here is a dimming wire and it only dims the DRL when the DRL is on. So when you have your parking lights or your headlights on, this thing won't be full brightness at night. It'll just dim down the DRL. So we'll need to make that connection. My idea of using the DRL signal out of here doesn't work because the OEM one uses a grounded output. So we'll go ahead and have to run that to the fuse block using the Add-a-Fuse. All right, I was able to heat shrink the signal and the parking light to my harness here. So I'm gonna tie all this back up with some 3M electrical tape, get all the loom back together and just tape this all nice and OEM looking again. All right, so pretty much got everything buttoned up over here. Put all these tie wraps, electrical tape, made everything look pretty across the front here, all the way over to this side. And I went ahead and finished the wiring of the one turn signal over here up to the thing with a new wire loom. So I mounted it underneath here with the tape and the screw. We got it all nice and pretty looking. The next thing I gotta do is fish this wire up into here through this little hole with all the wires coming in, and I'm gonna get the EFI, the electric fuel injection fuse, as my add-on. All right, I was able to fish this green wire right up this little sleeve right here. There was a little crack in there with some light. I just looped it around, pulled it through, and I got it up through here. I had to unplug these harnesses right here just to kind of access it and see it better. But now I'm in there, I can pull it up and it'll be a nice clean install. Got everything soldered nice and neatly. I checked all the fuses down here and everything under here is actually powered constantly on this side. The only fuse I found was this 10 right here, which corresponds to EFI number 2. That's the only one that doesn't come on unless the car is on. So that's what I'm gonna be using right here for the DRL. Plugged it up right there onto that fuse, like I said.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. living at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a...
Hey guys, thanks for watching it all the way to the end of this video on doing those 4-in-1 fog light upgrade on my Sienna. There is a lot of wiring involved in this, especially if you want to do it right and clean. If you want to do it really easy and painless, you can just use the quick clips and it'll take you like 5-10 minutes to do all that wiring. For all you guys that follow me and stayed to the end of this video, I'm going to give you a chance to win these same fog lights. I've got an extra set of these. Actually, I've got 2 extra sets of these in white. So if you guys want a chance at winning this, just leave a comment down in this video. Remember, these things will fit a bunch of different Lexus vehicles and Toyota vehicles from the last 10 or 12 years. It should fit your car if you have regular round Toyota fog lights. All you have to do is like this video and leave a comment at the end, and I'll select a winner in the next few weeks. Remember guys, for all these different DIY projects, whether it's on the Sienna, on the IS300, on the IS250, around the house, or whatever I'm doing, if I can do it, you guys can do it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.